Good evening, guys. Can you hear me? I'm audible, offline and online. Yes. Good evening, Vasanta, right? Mahesh, good evening. Pranav, good evening. Sheikh Hussein, Sakshi Kumar, right? Good evening, guys. Priya, good evening. Altaf, good evening. Bhavani, good evening. Vaibhav, good evening. Guys, please switch on that projector. Yes, good evening, Sandeep. Good evening, guys. So can we start? Let's get started. So today we need to discuss about architecture of Unix. So before discussing about architecture of Unix, I'll show you course content, how many chapters we are going to discuss, right? As of now, what kind of content we discuss. Yesterday we did basics only, guys, no need to bother, right? So what is computer, what is operating system, how many types of operating systems we'll have, right? What is the difference between Unix and Linux and those all stuff we discuss. Yes, what is the difference between Unix and Linux? Hmm? Linux is a clone of Unix. Very good. Then exactly what is the difference between Unix and Linux? Why Linux Torvald introduced to us Linux to us? Very good. So Linux is a vendor priority operating system. Sorry guys, Unix is a vendor priority operating system. Linux is a open source. We can install into any hardware components. It's not a vendor priority. That is the main difference between Unix and Linux, right? Okay, so very good. Mahesh, Abhijit, good evening. So Unix is a CLI based. Linux also CLI based only. Maximum we are going to use TUI, text user interface only. Okay. Guys, this is a course content. Guys, title only admin. This is not admin class. This is a basic Linux. Okay. Right. No, this is not admin level course, Mahesh. Just title only. Okay. So usually if you are calling like basic Linux means it's not looking good, right? So that's why I made the title Linux admin, right? Okay, so already we discussed about history of Unix, history of Linux, right? And then difference between Windows and Linux, then types of operating system. We need to discuss about architecture of Unix. Now, today we are going to discuss about architecture of Unix. After completing the architecture of Unix, we'll start installation. So how to install the Linux operating system into virtual machine, I'll show you. How to create the virtual machine, everything we are going to discuss, right? Then third chapter is a very, very important chapter, file system hierarchy. So without knowing file system hierarchy, you are unable to understand the remaining concepts. Okay. So first 3 to 4 days will have theory only, guys. Without knowing the theory, you are unable to understand the Linux concept. So that's why please focus on it. Maybe you are going to get bored. So we don't have any other option, right? You should learn. That's it, right? So file system hierarchy is a very, very important chapter. Okay, maybe day after tomorrow, Monday, I'll teach you. Okay, next commands, basic commands after completing the file system hierarchy, right? No issues, no issues. Good evening, Raja. So if you are new, it's not a problem. So you can continue. It's not a problem. Okay, content is not visible. Sorry, guys, give me 1 minute. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Now it's okay, right? Okay. So first chapter, history of operating system, already we done almost, right? Next chapter, installation. So third chapter, file system hierarchy, right? So file system hierarchy is a bit important for us, right? Fourth chapter, commands, practical session. From fourth chapter onwards, we are going to execute the commands. So basic commands, filter commands, how to identify the file type. So what is the use of man command, how you are going to get the proper information related to particular resources from our operating system with the help of man command. In depth I'll teach you, right? Next, coming to fifth chapter, editors. Your people, you are going to face many issues while you are trying to editing the files in Linux operating system. Yes, no. So especially who's doing DevOps for them. So while you are trying to editing the Ansible file, playbooks and those all stuff, at the time you're going to face many issues to save the file, to edit the file. So after completing this chapter, you are not going to feel any issues. Easily you are going to edit the files and those all stuff, right? So it will take 1 day to complete. Okay. So editors, redirectors, how to redirect the output to the files. Those all stuff you are going to cover into fifth chapter. And sixth chapter, soft link and hard links, symbolic links, how to create the shortcuts, how to create the backup file. Everything I'll teach you into in sixth chapter. So first 6 chapters, it will take 10 days to complete. Got it, guys? Minimum 1 week, maximum 10 days. First 6 chapters. Clear? So from 7th chapter onwards, we are going to perform. Excuse me, guys. Guys, 1 minute. Guys, can you hear me? Am I audible? Right? So let's see, guys, here. From 7th chapter onwards, we are going to perform administrative task. How to create the users, how to create the groups, how to manage the users and group, how to add the users into the group, how to change the default settings, login default settings, and everything we are going to discuss in 7th chapter. It will take 2 days to complete. 7th chapter, it little bit lengthy chapter, so it will take 2 days to complete, right? Yesterday video they are going to share, you don't need to bother. Okay. 8th chapter, sudo permissions, 1 day. How to provide the super user access to the normal user with the help of sudo. So we are going to discuss different types of scenarios here, right? Next, 9th chapter, file permission. It will take 1.5 day. Got it, guys? So permissions 1 day, special permissions, it will take like 40 minutes like that, right? So it will take 1.5 day. ACLs, it will take 1 day. Coming to ACLs, we'll have default ACLs, how we need to manage the ACLs, how to provide the access to someone to access particular file and directory. So those all content we are going to discuss into 10th chapter, right? So 10th chapter also it will take 1 day. 11th chapter, how to manage the services and daemons. So for example, you are trying to installing web server, right? You are trying to installing web server, right? Clear, guys? So if you try to installing web server, how we need to manage, how to start, how to stop. So how to manage the daemons, what is daemon? So what is systemd? What is initd? So everything we are going to discuss into this chapter, it will take 1 day to complete. 11th chapter. So 12th chapter, it's a very, very important for you people, especially who's doing cloud and DevOps. Cloud means any cloud. It may be AWS, it may be Azure, it may be GCP, whatever it may be. Without knowing networking concepts, without knowing IP addresses, you're unable to deploy the virtual private cloud. Got it, guys? Means VPC. So clear. So without VPC, you are unable to launch the resources into cloud. So here also, maybe if you got a job as a legacy administrator, without knowing networking concepts, without knowing IP addresses, you are unable to deploy the network. So here I'm going to teach you very in-depthly. It will take 4 days to complete. Networking chapter, it will take 3 to 4 days to complete. So in-depthly, we are going to discuss about IPv4, right? And I'll show you how to deploy our own network into our laptop between virtual machine. So that is real time. In real time environment also, you can deploy like that same way. So got it, guys? Logic. So clear? With the help of NMTUI, NMCLI, how we need to assign the IP addresses. So how to modify the IP addresses and everything we are going to discuss in 12 chapter. It will take 3 to 4 days to complete, right? And SSH also, it's a very, very important for you people. Without SSH, you are unable to access the remote users and remote machines. So after completing the networking concepts, I'll teach you SSH about public keys, private keys, how to generate our own public and private keys, how we need to utilize the public keys and private keys, what kind of algorithm it is going to use to generate those keys and those all stuff. I'll teach you very in-depthly about SSH. It will take 1 day. Got it? 1 day means 1 session, 1.5 hours, right? And how to archive the files, how to get the backup from one mission to another mission. Means, for example, we have client missions, how we need to get the backup from client mission to server through network, how to archive. So how to access the data from one mission to another mission through network, how to send the data from one mission to another mission through network. Everything we are going to discuss into 14th chapter. It will take 1 day to complete. Okay. So 15th chapter, how to install the packages. So without knowing this one, you are unable to install Ansible, you are unable to install Dockers and those kind of stuff into your virtual machines, right? So how to install the packages with the help of RPM command, with the help of EM command. So DNF also I'll teach you, don't worry. DNF is the latest version of M. So Amazon 2023 Linux, it will support DNS, right? So next, disk management. So disk management also, it's a very, very important, right? So 16, 17 and 18, those 3 chapters, it belongs to disk management. It will take 3 days to complete. It will take 3 days to complete. LVMs also I'll teach you how to create the LVMs, how we need to work with LVMs and those all stuff, right? Next, finally, we are going to discuss basic bash scripting. This scripting is more than enough for administrator. Got it, guys? So clear. So basic bash scripting. So it will take 2 days to complete. So almost like 30 days it will. So to complete this session, it will take 30 days, right, guys? I hope you're clear. So clear, guys. Prem. So many people, they are asking about yesterday video, right? Please send tomorrow video. How, man? How it's possible tomorrow video? Tomorrow no class, okay? No video. They are going to send on Monday. Guys, tomorrow no class, only this Saturday. Only this Saturday, no class. So from next Saturday onwards, we are going to continue. So tomorrow, no class. You're going to continue from Monday, right? So clear? This is all about course content. So it will take 30 days to complete. Every day, 1.5 hour session will have. So clear? Everything they are going to share, man. So course content and videos and everything, Prem, he's going to share to you. Don't worry. No need to bother. What you are going to do with this course content, tell me. You people, you are bothering about Saturday holiday, course content or videos. You need only those 3 things. So I'm teaching like past like 5 years onwards in Naresh IT. I'm going to find only those 3 questions. That's it. First question, sir, we have the holiday on Saturdays. Why you are bothering about holidays? You need to complete your course as soon as possible. You need to get the job, right? Yes, no. And the next question, sir, yesterday video we need. Are you going to share the videos? Third question, sir, are you going to provide the material? Means the document. So everything they are going to provide you. No need to bother. This is a second class only. Prem already he's shared his number 799 799 8954. Then you can ask to him. Then, so don't ask to me, okay? So if you're having any doubts in Linux, then you can. So if you're having any problem, any query with videos and management, and fees also, sir, what is the fees for this class, right? That, so those all stuff, Prem, he is going to manage. Prem, he's an admin for you people, and he's going to provide the proper details for you, okay? So even I'm also not going to get any videos because I'm also login like you. See, here we'll have one small cloud, right? So those all the videos that is going to record it into this cloud environment, not into my laptop. So I have only one permission. I can speak, I can share my screen. That's it. आप जैसे हो वैसे ही मैं भी, right? So clear, right? So I hope you got it, guys. Online, especially this is for online, right? Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to discuss about architecture of Unix. Okay, so based on Unix architecture, Linux machines also it will work. So what is an operating system, guys? Yes, what is an operating system? It's an interface between user and computer hardware components, right? Right. This is hardware, right? Hardware means our laptop or desktop, whatever it may be. Okay. Very good. King. Okay. Right. So let's see, guys. This guy is a user. This guy is a user. So user is unable to interact with hardware directly. We know that, right? So user is unable to interact with hardware components. We know because user is unable to understand the hardware language. User means we only, right, guys? We require operating system. Okay, we are discussing about Unix and Linux, right? So assume this, we have Unix operating system or Linux operating system into our laptop. Then how you are going to interact with your operating system? With the help of commands, right? OS means operating system only, man. So how you are going to interact with your operating system? With the help of commands. We are going to execute the commands, right? So user is unable to interact with hardware directly. So that's why what he's doing, he's trying to communicating with the help of commands. That's it now. Commands means utilities, commands, both are same. Right, guys? Clear? So utilities also you can say. So usually we are going to execute the commands. User, he's going to execute the command. What kind of command? Example, ls, mkdir. So like this commands we are going to execute. So got it, guys? So most of the people, what they're thinking, user is executing the command. It's try to communicating with hardware. So it's communicating with hardware so that we are getting result like that, output like that, right? No, guys. Command also, it's unable to understand the hardware language. Command is a one predefined program. I hope you got it. Command is a one predefined program, executable program, right, guys? So command where it will execute. So it is going to execute into, very good, shell. It is going to execute into shell. Got it, guys? So user is unable to interact with hardware component. So that's why user, what he's doing, he's trying to executing commands. So commands also, he doesn't know about hardware language. So command is a one executable program. Command is a one executable program. So this command also, it's unable to interact with hardware. So where it is going to execute, it is going to execute into shell. Shell. Shell is a interpreter. What is that? Shell is an interpreter. Interpreter means how many types of languages will have? Compiler languages, interpreter languages. Example, Java, C, C++, those all compiler languages, right? So Python, Perl, those kind of languages are interpreter languages. Now, what is the difference between those languages? Both. So if you are try to writing the code into Java, we need to compile first, then only we can execute. But coming to Python, the code, it is going to read line by line and it is going to execute automatically. Means compiler, actually interpreter, what it will do in the sense, it is going to convert the human language to machine language. I hope you got it, guys. Shell is a interpreter. Shell is a interpreter, right? So we'll have different types of shells, guys. So coming to RHEL 7.0 and latest versions, having bash. So born again shell. So bash is a latest shell environment. So all the like operating system nowadays having bash shell. In older days, we'll have SH, KSH, CSH, etc. Got it, guys? So those all shell. Nowadays, in Windows also, we can execute bash commands from Windows 11 onwards, 10 onwards. Windows 10, Windows 11, it's supporting bash, few bash commands we can execute, like SSH command we can execute. So no need to bother about putty, putty, those all stuff, right? So directly you can access EC2 instances from cloud environment to Windows operating system using SSH because of bash. I hope you got it, right? Bash is a latest shell environment. So SH in old versions, like Unix like machines having SH. So SH, KSH means Korn shell. CSH means C shell. So bash is a successor of those shells. Bash is a successor of KSH, CSH, etc. I hope you got it. Now what you're thinking, shell, it is going to communicate with hardware, right? No, guys. Shell also, it's unable to understand the hardware language. So we need one interface that is called kernel. Kernel. Kernel is a one piece of software, right? It's a heart of the operating system. It's a core operating system. Usually we need to call kernel is a core operating system. Got it? It's a one piece of software. Developer easily he can modify. For example, we have 7.0. So we find few bugs into the 7.0, right? So we need to fix the bugs, right? So how you are going to fix the bugs? They're not going to recreate again entire operating system. They are going to modify only kernel version. Easily they can modify and they're going to release the new kernel version. Guys, in our Android mobiles also, we are going to get the like updates. Yes, no. For example, when I'm purchasing this mobile, at the time I have I think 11. Now I have 13. I got an update from Android. So they introduced to us new kernel version. So we need to download that kernel, we need to install. That is called kernel patching. I hope you got it, guys. So clear. So kernel is a one small piece of software. Developer, he can modify very easily. Kernel is a heart of the operating system. It's a core operating system. So coming to kernel, we'll have two types. Two types of kernels we'll have. One is monokernel. Monokernel. Another one is microkernel. Microkernel, right? So Linux, Unix like machines, it having monokernel. Linux like machines having monokernel, guys. Windows like machines having microkernel. So clear. Windows machines having Windows operating system, it having microkernel. Linux, Unix, those operating systems having monokernel, monolithic kernel, monokernel, whatever if you want to can say. So coming to Linux, how we need to know the kernel version. So we have one command called uname. Uname -a r -r, whatever if you want to can use. Uname -a r -r. So this is a command we need to use to know the kernel version in Linux operating system. So I'm trying to providing one task to you people. Okay. How to know the kernel version in Windows? You need to search. Got it, guys? So how to know the kernel version in Linux? Uname -ar-r. So you can execute this command into Linux operating system. You are going to get the kernel version. Kernel, it will manage device information, multitasking information, and file system information. Device information, multitasking information, okay, and file system information. Managed by whom? Kernel. So who's going to manage the device information? Kernel. So who's going to manage the multitasking information? Kernel. And file system information also it managed by kernel. So I hope you got it. So what is kernel? Kernel is a one piece of software. So developer easily they can modify, right? So coming to kernel, it's a heart of the operating system. It's a core operating system, right? So coming to kernel, we'll have two types of kernels. One is monolithic, another one is microkernel. Unix, Linux like machines having monolithic kernel, Windows like machines having microkernel. So can I ask one question? This is real-time question. How many types of kernels will have in Linux? Listen the question carefully and give the answer. How many types of kernel will have in Linux? Mahesh, very good. Very good, guys. Super. One. What is that? Monolithic kernel. So like this questions, people, they will ask. So got it, guys? Right. So kernel is an interface between shell and hardware. Kernel is a interface between shell and hardware. So kernel knows very well about hardware language as well as shell language. So now we are trying to providing the task 1 + 1 is equal to, we are trying to executing few commands. So with the help of those commands, we are trying to providing the task to operating system, right? Guys, you can say it's a bash program. In 7.0, 8.0, 9.0 having bash programs. Those all predefined programs. So commands are predefined programs, right? So now we are trying to executing one command. The command, it will carry forward into the shell. So shell, it is going to carry forward into the kernel. Kernel, it will carry forward into the hardware. Inside the hardware, we have one component called processor. So processor is a brain of computer. Kernel is a heart of operating system. Got it, guys? Processor is a brain of computer, right? So processor, exactly what it will do? It is going to perform the arithmetical logical calculations. So processor, man, i3, i5, i7, coming to mobile, we'll have different types of processors in mobile. MediaTek, Snapdragon. So those all processors only, right? So processor, it is going to perform the arithmetical logical calculation. Actually, processor is a ALU, arithmetical logical unit. So this processor, exactly what it will do in the sense, it is going to perform 1 + 1 is equal to 2. So this result, it will carry forward into the kernel. Kernel, it will provide to the shell, and then finally we are going to get the output on top of the monitor. On top of the monitor. I hope you got it, guys. Like this, it will work exactly our operating system. So how our Linux operating system, Unix operating system will work in the sense based on this architecture. So based on this architecture, Unix and Linux operating systems, it will work. So clear. So first chapter finish, completed. Basics only, man, first chapter, right? Okay, so next, second chapter, installation, right? Guys, I am unable to install the operating system directly into my laptop. So this is my personal laptop, right? So I'm unable to install the operating system directly into our laptop because I'm teaching online as well as offline both, right? So if you are trying to installing the operating system directly into laptop, in the sense we need to reboot several times. Always we are going to lose the internet. So that's why what I'm doing in the sense I'm trying to installing the operating system into virtual machine. Got it, guys? You peoples are cloud engineers, right? You know very well about virtualization, right? Yes, no. What is virtualization? Remote server means remote server only. Remote server means you have a mission into your home. You're going to access that mission from your home to your office. That is remote server. What is virtualization then? Yes, guys. Store so many servers. Where you are going to store? Virtualization is a revolution in technology. First of all, you need to say this word. Virtualization is a revolution in technology, right? So clear. With the help of few third-party applications, we are going to create the virtual missions. Exactly what is virtualization? Please focus on it. So you know very well about Gmail, right? Yes, no. You know very well about Gmail. So how to create the Gmail account? Yes, guys. How to create the Gmail account? Yes, guys. How to create the Gmail? First of all, we need to connect the internet into our laptop. Without internet, how you are going to open the Gmail site, man? Yes, no. So we need to connect the internet into our laptop, right? So open web browser. Inside the web browser, by mobile number. Okay, right. So open web browser, and then inside the web browser, we need to type https://www.gmail.com. We should visit to the Gmail website. Yes, no. So there will have an option called sign up or sign in. Sign up to create the Gmail account. If you having already existing account, we need to click sign in. So if you need to create new account, yes, guys, gussa mat ho yaar, right? Okay. So see, please focus on it. We need to click sign up. So if you click sign up, then what kind of page you are going to get? So you are going to get one web application, right? For example, like this application you are going to get, right? Right, guys? Like this application you are going to get. So here we need to provide our details, right? Our details means our data. My name, right? So my contact number, right? So guess, right? So my contact number, my mail ID, uh, then my address. So like this, we need to provide. If you having existing mail ID, you can give. So, okay. So we need to provide address, contact number, and those all stuff, right? So clear. Guys, those all the data where it is going to store into your laptop. This data, my name, my contact number, and then my mail ID, and then my address, where it is going to store. Where, guys? Database. Which database? Gmail's database. Means Gmail people, they need to maintain the database server. Yes, no. Server means it's a one strong machine. That's it. That is also computer, but it's a strong computer, right? So next, if you need to access this site, how you're going to access? www.gmail.com means they need to maintain the web server also, right? So now you are trying to providing the www.gmail.com. It is going to resolve to an IP address. Who's going to resolve the host name to IP address? DNS server. Yes. Who's going to provide the automatic IP address? DHCP server. Means Gmail people, they need to maintain multiple services. Then only you are going to get this website. Otherwise, you are unable to get. So let's see here. Assume this is Gmail organization environment. Somewhere it got located in USA. So what kind of servers they need to maintain? They need to maintain web server. So this is one mission. This is one computer. So inside this computer, what they're doing, they're trying to deploying web server. Right? Guys who know about virtualization, those people are good. Who don't know, those people are very good. Please focus on it because I am teaching, right? Who don't know, those people are very good. No need to bother. Now you are going to learn exactly what is virtualization, right? So let's see here. Promotions, man. So we should do, right? So let's see here. This is one computer. So we need to install web server. We need to mean, so Gmail people, they need to install web server. So we have one more mission. So in this mission, we need to install DNS server. So domain name services, what it is going to do, it is going to resolve the host name to IP address to host name, right? And next. So we have one more server. We need to install database, SQL, MySQL, right? According to your requirement, right? According to their requirement, not our requirement, okay? So now we need to maintain a DHCP server also. So different types of servers we need to maintain. So I hope you got it, guys. So here, if we are discussing like simple way, minimum 4 servers we need to maintain here. And what about real time? Thousands of the servers they need to maintain, then only they are going to manage the entire traffic. Yes, no. Guys, if you try to installing those all the servers into one machine, what will happen? Simple. So if someone they are offering to you chicken biryani, mutton biryani, and paneer biryani, and then so 4 to 5 biryanis, so what will happen? We need to join into hospital. We need to admit into hospital if you're having that those many biryanis. Yes, no. Like the same way here also, if you try to installing all the services into one machine, it is going to pass the services. Got it? See, don't say crash gish. Okay, I know. So crash means wo kuch pad jayega nahi. So it is going to stop the services. That's it. It is going to hang. वो कुछ फटेगा नहीं. Crash matlab. So many people they are going to use this word called crash. Server crash. So got it, guys? So it will pass the services. So that's why we need to maintain multiple missions to deploy the multiple services. So those all the missions, if you need to maintain, always maintenance, it's a very high. So we should maintain the temperature. We need one place to keep those all the servers into one corner. Unnecessary, we need to waste that place, right? So unnecessary, we need to keep those all the 4 to 5 servers into one corner, and we should maintain the proper power and proper what is that? Temperature. Yes, no. So if you need to maintain hundreds of the missions like this, it's a bit difficult to us. So that's why what we are doing in a sense. See, simple. If this mission, if it is down, what will happen? There is some problem. There is some power fluctuations. So this machine, it got down. Then what will happen? Can we get the site? We are unable to access this website. If it is down, database server, if it is down, what will happen? Always we are going to face the problem, right? So here we'll have the maintenance problem. So we are going to get the downtime frequently. So that's why what we are doing in the sense, we are going to purchase the one strong mission instead of 4 missions. I hope you got it, guys. Instead of purchasing those 4 missions, what we are going to do? We are going to purchase one strong mission. You can say it's a server. Actually, VMware ESXi servers will have in real time. It's a very famous server. I used to work with those servers. Got it, guys? VMware ESXi servers will have, right? In data centers, you can find. So we'll have tower servers, blade servers, rack servers, different kind of servers will have. Server means one mission, like strong mission. So what is the difference between normal person and bouncer? Bouncer, he's looking like me, right? Yes, no. So what is the difference between normal person and bouncer? If you go to pub, we'll have bouncers, right? Then how they are looking? They're looking a little bit strong, right? ये को बगल में डाल के लेके चले जाएगा. Yes, there is a difference between normal mission and server. It having strong capacity means more than 128 GB RAM, multiple processors, the 2 Xeon processors. I hope you got it, guys, right? And we have more than 2 TB SCSI hard disk. So like this strong mission, we are going to purchase instead of purchasing 4 to 5 mission, right? Guys, how many operating systems we can install into one mission? Yes, guys, only one. We can install multiple operating system, but at a time we are going to use only one. That's it now. So in your laptop, if you want to can install Windows as well as Linux, both dual boot operating systems. But if you switch on the laptop, it is going to probe to us which one you need to select like that. So we need to select Windows or Linux. So both the operating system we are unable to select at a time. Yes, no. So means at a time we are going to use only one operating system. To overcome this drawback, they introduced to us virtualization. Got it, guys? First of all, what we need to do in a sense, we need to install one base operating system. Okay, according to my laptop, in my laptop, I have Windows 10 operating system as a base. This is base operating system. On top of this base operating system, we need to install few third-party virtualization applications. So now coming to virtualization, hypervisor, very good, Mahesh. Hypervisor application, virtualization application, whatever if you want to can say. So coming to hypervisors or virtualization applications, multiple vendors they are offering for us. For example, this is laptop. Laptop is a one product. Yes, no. So how many people they're providing the laptop product? How many vendors? Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus. Yes, no. So multiple vendors, they're providing one product called laptop. Like the same way, we have one software called virtualization application or hypervisor. Multiple vendors they're providing for us. According to our requirement, we are going to purchase the laptop. Yes, no. So my budget, my usage, and then my requirement, according to my requirement, I'm going to purchase laptop. So my budget is only 30,000. So I'm going with Lenovo because it's a cheaper than remaining laptops. Maybe you people are rich, then you are going to purchase Apple. That's it, no? Yes, no. So depends, right? Like the same way here also coming to real time, according to their requirement, client requirement. So we need to get the virtualization applications. What kind of virtualization applications we'll have? So what kind of like vendors they're providing for us? Let's see here. Coming to Windows. Windows is one vendor is providing Hyper-V. Hyper-V or hypervisor, whatever if you want to can say, right? And Linux, is a vendor. They're providing KVM, kernel-based virtual machine. This is open source. Hyper-V, it's not an open source. We need to get the license from Windows. Right. So next, Arkel. Arkel VirtualBox. Got it, guys? Arkel, they introduced us VirtualBox. VirtualBox, open source. Then VMware is a very famous vendor. So actually, many people, they are going to use VMware related virtualization applications only. For example, Workstation. I'm using Workstation. So latest version 17.0 Pro. VMware Workstation, VMware vSphere vClient, VMware Fusion. So many virtualization application VMware they're providing for us. VMware is a vendor. Workstation is an application. So vSphere is an application. Fusion is an application. Guys, who have Windows laptops, better to download Workstation or VirtualBox. Right, guys? So rich peoples means Apple people. Okay. So who have the Apple laptops, better to download Fusion. VMware Fusion, you can Google it, you are going to get, it's not a big deal, okay? So what about Arkel VirtualBox? Can you explain? Arkel VirtualBox is a hypervisor. So Arkel is a one vendor, they're providing hypervisor called VirtualBox. So how you are trying to purchasing the laptop according to your requirement from Dell, from Lenovo, like the same way, Arkel is a one vendor, they're providing one virtualization application called VirtualBox, that's it. What I need to explain there. I hope you got it, guys, right? So different vendors will have different virtualization applications they are providing for us. Windows, Hyper-V. Coming to you people are cloud engineers, right? Yes, no? So how many of you are doing AWS? So you know how to launch the EC2 instance, right? EC2 instance also on virtual machine. Then AWS, what kind of hypervisor they're using to launch the EC2 instance? I'm using Workstation to create the EC2, virtual machine. Like the same way, AWS also, they need to use one hypervisor, right? What kind of hypervisor they're using? You're completed. Very good, Mahesh. You need to give the answer. Mahesh, what kind of hypervisor AWS they're using? Zen hypervisor, Nitro hypervisor. So Zen hypervisor for old missions. T2 Micro will have, right? T2 Micro having Zen hypervisor. T3 Micro having Nitro. Nitro, it belongs to AWS. Zen actually, they adapt from some different vendor. So nowadays they're using their own hypervisor only. Nitro. All the latest EC2 instances that having Nitro hypervisor. If you want, you can launch, and if you want, you can check. I'll tell you one command. With the help of that command, you can check. You are going to understand. So clear? Coming to Azure. Azure engineers. What kind of hypervisor they are going to use? Which one is a better for Linux installation? VMware, VirtualBox, your wish, man. So according to my requirement, I have comfortness with Workstation. Maybe if you're having the comfort with VirtualBox, you can use VirtualBox. It's not a problem. See, मेरी मर्जी है यार, मैं जो भी virtualization application use करना चाह रहा हूँ मैं कर सकता हूँ. So it's my requirement, right? I like Lenovo laptop. Because of that reason, I have purchased Lenovo laptop. And maybe you people, you like Dell laptop, you're going to purchase Dell laptops. It's like the same way. We are unable to say which one we need to use it. Depend on your comfortness. I'm very comfortable with Workstation, so that's why I'm using Workstation. So got it, guys? Right? Yes. Azure engineers. Azure belongs to Microsoft, right? No, always they're going to use their products only, hypervisor only. GCP. GCP, I'm not asking about GCP full form. Okay. So I'm asking in GCP, what kind of hypervisors they're using? KVMs. Actually, GCP is a open source. Like they're going to use many open source applications. KVM is a open source. Actually, they got a KVM, they got modified a little bit, and then according to their requirement, they're using KVMs only in GCP. So clear. I hope you're very clear. Huh? I don't know much about Alibaba, Gilibaba, and those all stuff. Okay. Right. So clear, guys. I hope you're clear now. What is exactly virtualization application? So with the help of this virtualization application, we are trying to dividing one physical machine into multiple virtual machine. This is my laptop. I'm trying to dividing this laptop into multiple virtual laptops, not physical laptops, guys. Okay. So we are trying to dividing this laptop into multiple virtual laptops. So let's see here. So now on top of this VM, on top of the Windows 10 operating system, what we are doing, we are trying to installing workstation. So 17.0 Pro, whatever, if you want to can install. Okay, guys who have old operating systems like Windows 7 XP, please, those people use workstation 12. 17, 15 it won't support, right? Who have the latest laptops, Windows 10, Windows 11 laptops, you can use workstation 17, it's not a problem, right? So who have Apple computers, Apple laptops, better to download VMware Fusion. So clear. Now I'm using workstation. So we need to install workstation. We need to download workstation from internet. So visit the VMware website and you can download, right? So after installing the workstation, with the help of this workstation, we are going to create multiple virtual machines. This is one VM. So instead of purchasing multiple physical machines, what we are doing, we purchase only one physical machine. So we deploy workstation into this machine. With the help of this workstation, you can create multiple virtual machines. So in this virtual machine, I am going to install web server. So now we are going to create one more virtual machine. So in this virtual machine, we are going to install DNS server. So here you can install one operating system. Guys, it's not like this. You need to install only Linux operating system. Your wish. If you want, you can install Windows also here. If you want, you can install Linux. If you want, you can install Ubuntu, whatever, if you want, you can install, right? So now you can create one more virtual machine, right? And then DB server. So now you can create like this. You can create multiple virtual machine. So it's depend on your physical machine. Got it, guys? So it depends on your physical machine. So clear. So this is all about virtualization. There's a revolution in technology. So we can save money because instead of purchasing the 4 to 5 machines, we are going to purchase only one strong machine. In that strong machine, we can install multiple operating systems with the help of virtualization applications. So clear, guys? The same concept, only cloud peoples also they're using. That's it. AWS, Azure, GCP, those peoples, they're all using same concept only. So before we are going to deploy into our organization, so nowadays people, they are deploying their infrastructure into the cloud environment. That's it. So clear? I hope you got it, guys. Now I'm using workstation. As I'll share the link and those all stuff, no need to bother. You can download. I'll share the Google Drive link. Let it complete the demos. In that Google Drive link, you'll have each and everything. So ISO images you'll have. So VMware workstation software you'll have, right? How to install the document also you'll have, no need to bother. So how to create the virtual machine, how to install the operating system into virtual machine, everything you'll have, no need to bother, right? So now already I have installed workstation. Guys, it's not a big deal. So go to VMware website, download the workstation 17.0, right? So automatically it is going to download into the download folder. Go to download folder, double click on top of that particular software.exe file, give next, finally finish. That's it. It's not a big deal. It will ask license keys. I'll provide you. Don't worry. Activation key will ask. So by default, they're going to provide 30 days, right? So if you're using this activation key, it is going to become like lifetime, right? Okay. So after installing the VMware Workstation, you are going to get like this icon on top of your desktop. One blue color square box and orange color square box. So got it, guys. So let's try to open this one. Guys, I have few virtual machines here. Okay. So I have few virtual machines here. So maybe you people, you doesn't have anything. You are going to get only my computer and then share VMs. That's it. You're not going to get those old stuff. RHL 8, 9 server and those all stuff. Those all my virtual machines, right? So how to create the virtual machine? Now we are going to discuss. If you want, you can make a note. So this is VMware Workstation. I'm using 15.5 Pro, guys. Guys, if you're having any doubts, any questions online, please try to communicate through chat box. Don't raise your hands. I'm unable to provide the permission for you people to speak with me, okay, at present, okay? So if you're having any doubts, please try to communicate through chat box, okay? Right. So this is our VMware Workstation and Workstation 15.5 Pro I'm using. So here we'll have an option called create a new virtual machine. Now we are trying to creating one new virtual machine. Means we are dividing our physical machine into multiple virtual machines. Got it, guys? So create new virtual machine. So here we'll have two options, typical and custom. So welcome to new virtual machine wizard, right? We'll have two options. One is typical and custom. Got it, guys? So go with the typical. No need to bother. Okay. So we need to select typical radio button. If you want, you can go with custom also. If you select custom, you're going to get old versions also. VMware old versions, 12, right? So maybe if you're having Windows 7, then you can go with custom. So doesn't require custom option here. So go with typical. Typical is a recommended. So this is radio button. We need to select typical radio button. Okay. So clear, guys. Then give next. Give next. So clear. Next, guest operating system installation. So here we'll have three options. Installer disk, installer disk image file ISO, and I will install the operating system later. So here we'll have three options. For example, guys, how you are going to install the operating system into your laptop? Usually with the help of DVD, right? Usually we are going to use DVD. Okay, nowadays there is no DVDs, right? If you're having DVD, if you are trying to installing the operating system with the DVD, you'll have RHEL 7.0 DVD. So you are trying to installing the operating system with the help of RHEL 7.0 DVD. Better to select first option. I hope you got it, guys. Nowadays, no one there bothering about DVDs, right? So no need to bother about first option. So coming to second option, right? Installer disk image file. So guys, we need to download ISO image, operating system related ISO image. We need to download from internet. How to download? I will tell you. Don't worry. If you're unable to download, I'll share the link. With the help of that link, you can download. It's not a problem. So clear. Require documents and require softwares management. They will provide you. No need to bother. So clear. So if you're having ISO image, select second option. So last option, I'll install the operating system later. At present, what I'm doing in a sense, I'm not going to install any operating system. At present, I'm trying to creating one virtual machine. Like for example, you purchase one laptop without operating system. I hope you got it, guys. This is the last option. Without operating system, we are trying to creating virtual machine. Got it? So better to select this option. and then give next. What kind of operating system we need to install? So we are discussing about Linux. Always we need to select Linux. Maybe if you want, you can install Windows also, your wish. So Windows 10, Windows 11 also you can. Linux you can. VMware, I said na, ESXi servers. Related operating systems also you can. Other operating system like DOS, you can. Got it? So at present, which one? Linux. Linux, guys, Mahesh, you should not select Windows, okay? Linux. So coming to Linux, how many flavors will have as of now? 800 plus flavors, right? Which flavor we are going to discuss now? Red Hat Enterprises Linux, right? So I'm using 7.0. Guys, if you want, you can use 8, 9 also, you wish. Okay, don't worry. While we are discussing about chapter wise, I'll give the difference between 7, 8, 9. Right? Okay, so now we need to select Red Hat Enterprises Linux 764-bit. Then give next. And you wish, guys, virtual machine name you can give. Okay. Can we use Ubuntu? You can, man. You can. But few commands are different in Ubuntu, right? So let's see here. I'm trying to providing virtual machine name, right? So for example, 6 p.m. server. Any name you can give. Okay. So guys, by default is going to install into C drive. If you're having space into C drive, that's okay. I don't have much space into C drive, right? So I'm going to use some different drive letter, right? Your wish, guys. If you're having space into the C drive, so 40 GB space we need. 40 GB space we need. Okay. Guys, pre-requirements. You should have multi-core laptop processor. Multi-core processor you should have. Minimum you should have 8 GB RAM. 4 GB also we can manage, but you are going to face many performance issues. If you're having 8 GB, you are going to get the good performance, right, guys? And the hard disk 500 GB is more than enough. You are going to use hardly 40 GB. That's it. Multi-core processor like i3, i5, i7. Guys, i3 means few people they're asking, sir, I don't have i3, I have i7 like that. Okay. i7 also you can. Okay. i3 minimum i3 I'm saying, right? i7 also you can, right? So click browse and I'm going to use some different drive. E drive I'm using. And here I'm trying to creating one folder, 6 p.m. demo, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. server, right? Any name you can give your wish. It's not a problem, okay? So click OK. Oh, 1 minute, guys. So got it. So in E drive, I'm trying to installing this virtual machine, right? So give next. Guys, by default, you'll have 20 GB, make it 40. Actually, 20 GB is enough for operating system, but we are going to discuss about the disk management concept, right? At the time, we need some space, storage space. So that's why 40 GB. So 40 GB, and we'll have two options here. So store virtual disk as a single file and split virtual disk into multiple files. So better to use first option because 40 GB only, na? So one file is enough. Maybe if you're trying to providing more than 500 GB, 1 TB at the time, better to go with this option. Easily you are going to get the backups. So we are going to split virtual disk into multiple files, right? And then give next. Got it, guys? Clear? And give next. And before finish, so you should click customize hardware. You need to click customize hardware. But don't worry. So everything you'll have into the document. It's not a problem. Okay. So, okay, click customize hardware, right? And here we'll have few components, virtual components. Memory means RAM. So recommended 2 GB. Actually, in my laptop, I have 16 GB RAM. So I'm going to use 2 GB from 16 GB for this virtual machine. In my physical laptop, I have 16 GB RAM. So I'm going to consume 2 GB from 16 GB. 2 GB is okay for RHL 7.0, but if you are trying to installing 8.0 and 9.0, better to give 4 GB. Then only you're going to get the good performance from your operating system. So got it, guys? Yes, no? Right. Sound ratla. Yes, no? No. Yes, no? So clear? Right. So processor. I have only one processor into my laptop. That is i3 processor, but it having 4 cores. Right. 4 cores means how you're going to measure this processor speed. See, you know very well about mobiles, right? So if you need to play PUBG kind of game, what kind of processor you need? Huh? Octa core. Yes, no. MediaTek octa core processor, Snapdragon. Something will have few versions also. I don't know much about mobiles, right? So like the same way, coming to laptops also will have cores, right? Because of virtualization only they introduced those cores. I have i3 4 core processor. Then how to check the cores? How to measure the speed? Not in Linux, guys, in Windows. How you are going to check the core? If you need to purchase new laptop, no, always you should have the knowledge, right? What kind of RAM will have, what kind of like processor will have, you need to check, right? Then where you are going to check? Huh? Properties. Properties. Which properties? Not our properties, right? So not our home. Okay. So this PC, then right click, then go to manage. Excuse me, guys. Guys, it will take bit time. Okay, we have 20 minutes time, no need to bother. Sorry, 10 minutes only. Within a 10 minutes, I'm going to finish, don't worry. Guys, every day we'll have the classes like that only. I'm not going to leave you before 7:30. Okay, so fix ho jao, right? But you are not going to feel bored, definitely. So this is my assurity. 100% you are going to enjoy the session. फिर भी उतना बोरिंग नहीं हो यार मैं पता है मेरे को right? Okay, so got it, guys? Let's see here. Go to manager. Which manage? Device manager, right? So go to device manager, and here we'll have processors, right? So double click on top of this processor, expand. We'll have 4 cores. Each core, it will provide 2.0 gigahertz. No class tomorrow, man. Prem, he's saying, okay, right. So 2.00 gigahertz. Okay. How you are going to measure this processor speed? 1 hash is equal to 1 hash is equal to how you are going to measure your bike speed? Kilometer per second, right? Kilometer per hour. That's it, na guys. Kilometer per hour only, na bike speed. Like the same way, cycle per second. Cycle means it's not our cycle. Okay. So 1 cycle per second. 1 hash is equal to 1 cycle per second. Clear? 1 mega hash is equal to 1 million cycles per second. 1 hash is equal to 1 cycle per second. 1 mega hash is equal to 1 million cycles per second. 1 gigahash is equal to 1 billion cycles per second. Got it? Means 2 gigahertz. Each core it's providing 2 gigahertz. Means each core it is going to perform per second 2 billion cycles. Like this, 4 cores will have. This processor capacity is going to provide 8 billion cycles per second. So now what we are doing, we are going to share those core to our virtual machine. 2 core for base machine, 2 core for virtual machine. So got it, guys? Then here, 2 cores. Guys, don't forget this option, CD DVD option. So select ISO image. I have already ISO image into my laptop. So we need to download this ISO image. Don't worry, how to download, I'll show you on Monday, right? So nothing will happen, man. Okay. Enable. Okay, okay. So let's see, guys, here. Here we need to select our image file, browse it. We need to download the image file from internet, go to that particular folder, then you need to select the image file here. It's a mandatory. Without image file, you are unable to install the operating system into virtual machine, right? Next, NAT will have network adapter, NAT will have, right, guys? If you having wire connection, I have wire connection, so that's why I'm using NAT. Who have Wi-Fi, better to use bridge. What will happen is, your virtual machine, it is going to communicate with base machine. Then automatically you are going to get the internet from your base machine to virtual machine. I'm using NAT only because in our classroom we'll have wire connection. Okay. So who have Wi-Fi, better to use bridge. Okay. So USB, your wish, guys. USB driver, I think 3.0, the latest one. And sound drivers, printer we don't have. I'm going to remove this printer. Remove this one, doesn't need. Okay, display drivers you can keep. So close it, then now finish it. Now our virtual machine is ready. So we have new laptop, new virtual laptop. Now in this laptop, we are going to install. How you are going to start the laptop, guys? How you are going to start? Power button, right? So we need to switch on power button. Like the same way we'll have virtual power button here. So you need to click this virtual power button, and with the help of that image file, it is going to start and it is going to install. So installation process, we are going to continue from Monday onwards. So if you're having any doubts, any questions as of now, please. Yes, guys, online. So far, all good. Okay. So maybe till end, you're going to feel like that only. No need to bother. Hussein. So thank you. He's saying great, sir. Thank you. What is ISO image? I'll tell you on Monday. Okay. Don't worry, Vinod. Sorry. Vrinda. Monday we'll discuss, okay? Right. Okay, guys. Thank you. See you on Monday. Tomorrow, no session, right? Bye. Take care.